Alright guys, this is a video that I'm making in response to everything that's been going on, especially the past, say, 48 hours in this country. We seem to have an epidemic going on, and I'm not gonna sit back and watch it happen and be quiet about it, especially since I have access to media to voice my opinion on it. And before anybody starts bashing me in the comments, this is not an attempt to get subscription to the channel. This is simply me voicing my opinion and welcoming opinions, both positive and negative, to be shared amongst us. This isn't one of those videos that I'm going to ask for likes, share, subscribe. It's simply, like the screen says, a video I'm making to try to help America wake up. Because this is sickening. You are going to hear my mouse clicking in the background as I cycle through images on screen for you to try to bring this down to earth and really make it known where I stand on it. So with that being said, I am not left-wing, I am not right-wing. There's been a lot of activity in the Patriot movement. I am not able to make it to any of the rallies, but I don't want to just sit back and be idle. I would like to consider myself a patriot, as I am a prior service combat veteran. So I am going to use my First Amendment right, and I am going to voice my opinions. And quite frankly, I don't give a fuck who it offends. The epidemic, with all these violent rallies and all these hate groups, and you know what, I'm going to classify them as what I view them as, terrorist groups, homegrown in America. When I say terrorist groups, I'm talking about groups like Black Lives Matter, the KKK, neo-Nazis, and there's more of them. I just can't think of them right now. And it's sickening. It's sickening. This is not the America that I fought to defend. It's becoming, hell, I feel like a foreigner in my own goddamn country. Let's take a look at some pictures, shall we? Or at a picture. There she is. The great America. United States. Now, I'm not up to date if one or some of these happened outside of the past 48 to 72 hours. I apologize, but I've heard them mentioned in other videos that folks have done voicing their opinions, which means it's still relevant, I'm assuming. So let's get on with it. There have been violent rallies across this country. Three main ones that I've heard of. I'm gonna voice opinions on two of them, as I don't know much about the third, but we've had violent rallies in Berkeley, Boston. Boston isn't quite a rally, it's more racist, anti-Semitic, vandalism. And the most recent rally turned violent, Charlottesville, Virginia. What the hell are you guys thinking? Whatever happened to united we stand, divided we fall? Everybody's trying to prove their point by calling everybody else racists. When in all actuality, all you're doing is proving just how racist y'all are. Wake the fuck up. I mean, let's get into detail about these a little bit based on my knowledge of them. Charlottesville. Dude, really? From what I understand, the rally was still peaceful. May have overflowed into the streets, but was still peaceful. And you want to drive down the street intentionally to cause bodily injury or possible death and property damage? What were you trying to prove? What did you gain from that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I may not agree with the views that they were rallying to support, but like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, I fought for their right to do so. It's in their freedom of assembly, their constitutional rights to form an assembly and a rally and a protest to voice their opinions when they feel that they need to be voiced. Just like my right to post this video voicing my opinions. I mean, damn it, dude. What were you trying to prove? That you were better than them? Because you're sitting in 3,000 pounds worth of fucking metal? And using it as a battering ram against people who are just walking down the street rallying? This isn't the America that I envisioned when I first took my oath and joined the service. No. That's the kind of shit that you see happening in the Middle East. That's ISIS shit right there. That's Islamic radical jihadist. You know? That has no place here. It has no place there either. But we're not talking about them right now. Now let's get to the one that really brought it to a head to make me want to make this video. I may currently be in South Carolina, but I was born and raised just south of Boston. So this one hit home, and the timing on it, and what it was that got vandalized. Like, really? Boston, didn't we just learn what happens when we don't stand together? When the Boston Marathon got bombed? Whatever happened to Boston Strong? One Boston. Guess that's out the window. And this isn't the first time this summer that the particular landmark I'm talking about has been vandalized. This is the second time this summer. I'm talking about the memorial in Boston for the Holocaust. Like, dude, really? Of everything you could have vandalized, the Holocaust? I mean, there's people still in the area up there that are survivors. Before I got on to make this video, I was watching a press conference in Boston where they had a survivor there. Survivor of Auschwitz in Poland, who in 1942 watched his mother, father, and 7-year-old brother get swept up and murdered in a gas chamber. But he survived. It's hard enough that he has to live with the memories for the rest of his life of what he endured And that memorial gave him a place to essentially mourn his loss. And now he doesn't even have that. Because it's been desecrated. It's been vandalized. The glass, I guess, was shattered. And I'm sorry. It was a fucking Holocaust memorial for the Jewish people who lost their lives in the Holocaust. I don't think that there's very many things you can say to get me to believe that this was not an act of anti-Semitism and of hatred. Like, I'm sorry, it was a hate crime in my eyes. Like, what the fuck are we doing to ourselves, guys? Seriously. Tearing down Civil War monuments because they're racist? Let's take a look at the facts here. Let's pull the two famous generals, one from each side of the American Civil War. Let's just compare the racism for a second. Okay, everybody's hating on Robert E. Lee. He was a Confederate general. He had to have been racist because he was Confederate. Now, not according to the history books that I learned in school, because, let's face it, those ones were written by the victor, so they're going to be biased. But doing my own research, come to think of it, I don't think Robert E. Lee even owned slaves. Hell, he wasn't a racist. If anything, he was a patriot. Only reason he was fighting for the Confederacy was because he was fighting for the state that he lived in. He was fighting for the state that he loved, his home state where he was his whole life, Virginia. If Virginia had flipped sides, he had already said that he would turn around and throw on a Union uniform. Not because he supported the Confederacy or the Union, he supported Virginia. Now let's talk about the Union general. Ulysses S. Grant, also future president of the United States. He was a slave owner. As a matter of fact, let's talk about the president of the United States during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln. He did all these good things. Put the Emancipation Proclamation into law, freed the slaves, right? What y'all don't realize is when he signed that Emancipation Proclamation, he was freeing his slaves as well. Now, I don't know, but to me that just proves, if there was even a racist tendency back then, it just proves to me that the monuments y'all are pulling down may not be racist monuments. They're monuments of American history, of a time period in American history. Without those memories and those monuments, what do we have left to remember the mistakes that we've made as a country? Where are we going to fall back to? Like, seriously, guys. Which brings me to my next point, and we're done with the map now. Brings me to my next point. Y'all want to sit there and sling the word racist around. You know, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, I believe it is. sitting there calling for white genocide. Kill the white man. Abort white babies, I believe, are a few of their rallying calls. Because, you know, that's not racist. And before you start slinging it at me that, oh, well, if you're calling them racist, then you must align yourself with the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists and the KKK. Hell nah. They just as racist. There ain't no need for any of them. I mean, we're supposed to stand united. We got more important things to worry about. We got other countries with fucking missiles aimed at our territories and threatening to launch them at not just our territories, but launching missiles towards mainland too. I don't know about you guys, but fuck. Look at the world around you. We live in one of the greatest used to be one of the greatest countries in the world. I can't even call it the greatest country in the world anymore because of look how you're acting. Look how we're acting as a country. I mean, like I said, if I had to align myself with any of them, it would be the Patriots. The ones who just want to, in all honesty, fix America, hopefully non-violently. Make it the great nation it was turn of the century. Or, you know, the 70s, the 80s. Peace, love, and harmony. But no, we're stuck in a mindset where everybody's racist against everybody and nobody wants to shut the fuck up and listen. I mean, I don't know how much more of an impact I can have. I've pretty much said my piece, and surprisingly, I was calm during it. But, I mean, hell, we're already at 18 minutes. This is going up raw, by the way. There is going to be no edits. It's not even going in my video editor. It's going straight from folder to upload. So, call me racist if you want, because I don't support your view of thinking. But just remember, there's a lot of people like me who hold the title proudly of combat veteran. There's a lot of them who can't open their mouths and voice their opinion of what you guys are doing to this great country because they died for your right to assemble and call people racists and be radical. I ain't saying stop your beliefs. You have the freedom of speech, you have the freedom of belief, you have free will. I'm not going to tell you to stop having that because I fought for your right to have it, partially, along with, you know, my brothers and sisters in arms. But do we have to be so violent about it? Whatever happened to sitting down around a table? Okay, so maybe it might get loud and verbally violent, but shit used to get worked out. You walk away from the table, you buy each other a beer, and you may not still agree with them, but shit, at least you've come to an understanding. Why can't we get back to that mindset? I'm definitely not telling you not to have your rallies. once again, freedom of, what the hell is it? You got the constitutional right to rally. Can we tone the violence down? I mean, y'all are leading this country back towards another civil war, and there's going to be more innocent people affected by that than you guys. Like, seriously, get your heads out of your asses, America. With that, I'm done.